Well, hello folks, we're back again now after having had a short break reorganising a few things here, and as you can see I've got the 72 limo in a variety of pieces at the present time. Reason was that we had a belt running the water pump down here which was way too loose and too short. It had been put on because we left the heat pump off it, because it was basically run the bearings. But this is the belt that was put on at the present time. I'll show it to you in a second. There we are, that's the belt that was put on. Completely wrong. Wrong V, wrong length, and I wondered why the thing was boiling. Well, that's the reason why. And I'll be making up a new tensioner here, which the tensioner is going to go down on the side of the motor here. Let's get that down here, and it's going to sit in here when I can get a shot at it. It's going to sit in here and press against the belt, and it's got a plate that goes back into here where those two bolts are, and then the tensioner will sit on that and hold the belt in. Not a lot of room there, but I'll be getting that right into the centre. Once that's done, the big beast should not be boiling like it was. Certainly the chap that I had do it I'm not too pleased with, as you can well imagine. However, that's one of the things that happens when you give your own work to someone else to do. So other variety of things happening at the present time. Just walked around here. That's the big thing, 23 feet 6 inches and 3 tons of it. Here, into the shed. Exciting shot of the shed. Over here to where we see a battery. Well, there's a surprise for you. That is a battery, yes, I've checked and found it is. But it's a battery out of my 2000 AU LTD. It's a cheap battery. Doesn't cost very much to buy these things, about $100 worth, but it's a second grade battery at best. Wasn't holding a charge very well, and so I decided that I'd empty it out and put some alum in it. Alum's bought in packets of a kilogram. I usually get it from over in Western Australia. Some demineralised water in 5 litre containers. It'd take about 8 ounces of alum to a water 5 litres, and you drain the battery, fill it up with bicarb of soda. This one was flushed and drained 4 times to get the plates clean inside. It was very mucky, very grey and dirty when it came out, and now I've put the new thing. It's been on charge for about 2 hours at the present moment. And if you look at it, as you can see, it's quite active at the present moment. It was picking up around about 1 point per second from about 7.3 to 7.5 volts at the present time. That will be going a lot more than that, so I'll have to take some of that material out of there in a minute because it's certainly going to overflow. Hopefully it'll come up well and hold well. The other thing I'm doing at the present time is that I'm going to do some very, very, very nasty things to a motor that I have out the back. Just to get in the corner here, there's a little engine. See that? A little motor. And that little motor is going to go onto a frame out the back with a 253 engine that I've got. By the way, I only paid $50 for that on Gumtree. There's all sorts of bargains out there if you want to look. And that is going to go to run a pump which I'm going to use to pump various types of fluid through the engine that's out there. We'll just take a quick walk out the back and have a look at that. And you can have an exciting look at my shed on the way through. There's $200 worth of bolts and nuts there which I'm going to resell. Hopefully I might make a few dollars on that. Let me come outside here. I shot of my little water blaster, which cost us $300, Chinese made. I did some work on it. I found it was overbalancing, which was a stupid thing to have done, so I built that framework on the back of it and put a wheel on it out the back, so we can now roam it around the yard without too much trouble. Great little unit though. Pulls up, supposed to pull 3,000 pound per square inch, but I doubt very much that it does that. Probably closer to 2.5, but it certainly pulls the dirt off. There are better ones, but you know, the stuff's cheap. If it blows up, it's easy to go and buy another one. Okay, take a run down the back here and I'll talk to you about this engine that I've got. Quite a warm day today, I might add. The ute is sitting up there because it's going to have an investigation done to find out where an oil leak is coming from. And to do that I purchased a boroscope. Very handy little item. I'll be able to get up behind the motor in there without having too much trouble, see where the oil is coming from. I'll be able to look in cylinders of engines, in rails on the car, inside doors, anywhere you can get the thing in there and have a good look and see what it's going like. And come down here. This is my good mate's wreck, which he's using as to supply parts for a charger. Good old Valiant charger. One of 63 of this particular type that was made. And he's done a fantastic job on it. We did a cut and shut on the front of it because it had been damaged. But this is the engine. In fact, there's two engines here. That's a Chevy V6. That's a door that's fallen over. It's handy. It's going to help it. It's actually a boot that's fallen over. It shouldn't even be here. It's off a Caprice. Here's the engine. Full of mess. Used a bit of a repository by my good friend, who really should do better than that. Get rid of all this rubbish off here. Okay. Rightio. He's managed to fill it with sand. Blasting sand, and he's very cleverly left the top off here. And right down the back here, where the distributor goes. So that's full of sand down there too. And the other thing about this engine, apart from the fact it's been sitting here for about 6 years, is that it's full of water. We have a leaky roof. And down comes the water, fills up the little Chevy V6 engine. It's full of water too. And fills up this engine here. I don't know what it was like when it was first put here, but it's got a lot of H2O sitting in it. However, although I've been told it can't do it, I'm going to revive that engine. And I'm going to revive that engine by hooking a lift to the front, tipping it up on its end, letting the water drain out and all the other stuff to flush out the sand that's gone down here into that little hole, which I've just thrown the thing off. Where is the damn thing? Let me put my hand down here. Oh yes, there it is. Right there. That little hole there. I'm going to tip it up so that all the water and the sand and everything that's in there flows out, takes it all out with it. Then I'll put the boroscope down in there and see there's none of it in there because I don't really want sand in the engine. It'll be set up, it's got set up on a stand. I've got a radiator for it and every other bits and pieces, another water pump for it. The fuel pump I'll check to make sure that it works. These tops, they can be beaten out and panel beated up, and when they're cleaned, de-rusted and sanded down and painted, they look quite good. I don't think it's actually such a bad engine. The fact that it's had water in there for the period of time may not be as damaging as you think, because most of the time the motor's been sealed, so it probably hasn't got a lot of stuff that's going to damage it too much. That comes off, or sort of comes off, but as you can see underneath here, it looks a bit horrible. But when I make the video of cleaning it and doing all those sorts of things to it, you'll see some ideas which probably you shouldn't use on a reasonably good engine. we haven't quite got to that stage yet, but it won't be long. I've been collecting all the bits and pieces that I need for it, and I've just about got everything at the moment. I just need a clutch housing at the back so I can mount it out there, and all I need to do then is to make that little engine inside to go down alongside the engine here. I'm going to run a pump, a filter and a set of hoses into the high pressure side of the engine through the oil switch, and I'm going to pump diesel through it, and then I'm going to put water through it, hot water, and then and I'll have it tipped up so that it all comes out of the back of it there, and then I'm going to circulate the fluid through the engines until I get it clean, and it will come up clean. And then I've got some stuff called Metal Ready or Metal Rescue, and I'll be filling the engine up with that. It's a concentrated liquid, so I'll be putting about 4 or 5 gallons of this stuff in the engine, and I'll just let it sit. I'll look in the bores and I'll stick it down the bores as well, and we'll get it freed up, and then we'll see how it goes. And I'll have a carburetor and all the rest of the bits and pieces for it. This little chap over here, I'll do the same to it a little later. I have other material around here, or I did have. I've got other engines which are, oh yes, they're up at my friend's place, so they'll be done as well. Anyway, that's a bit of a fill-in about what's happening around the place at the present time. That's a very nice boot that I kept off an HX Caprice that I had, and unfortunately was rusted right through the rest of the body, which was a bit of a shame really. Anyway, just a quick rundown, and I'll put this up on the net tonight and you can have a bit of a look at it.